Well, here we are in the boat shed, and as you probably know, what I've been doing is mainly gluing up this big old blank that will be the foremast. It's the piece that I'm going to machine the foremast out of, and that's laminated up from spruce, mainly laminated from 4 pieces of 80 millimeter. You remember last week I made up 4 long lengths, scarfed them together, and I did that in such a way also I cut the inside corner off of each piece so that when they're glued together, the 4 together, gives me a 1 inch 25 millimeter hole down the middle of the mast. So the first job this week was to start gluing those together, and I did it in a manner that, I glued 2 together and then the other 2 together, so I had 2 halves, and that allowed me to control the squeeze out in that hole, in that central gully, to keep that nice and clean on each half. Of course, when you put the 2 halves together, the squeeze out is out of your control, but it's worked fine. The hole is nice and clear all the way down. I also was very careful to seal that central hole with several coats of epoxy, and I'm pleased with the way it's come out. So once the 2 half mast pieces were glued up, I gave them a good old clean up, and then checked them with a dry fit, checked that they were fitting nicely together before gluing it up to assemble the 4 pieces, the actual central mast piece. Now this is the foremast, the one I'm doing first. It's the shorter of the 2, 9.60 m long, that's 31'6". Just about fills the shed. The longer one of the 2 is going to protrude out the door, I'm afraid. I'll have to wrap the end in a tarp or something. Oh well. perfect along there. Doing another coat really. I think we'll give that a second coat. Okay, here we go then. So the exhaust outlet there is leaking, and I bought this. I'll show you that one. This lovely stainless steel one. It's an aftermarket one. It's supposed to be an improvement over the original, and it's time to fit it. Well, there it is, and that is quite clearly not in good condition. That should be quite an improvement. And there it is. Didn't take very long. That should be a whole lot better. Alrighty, good. That comes into me. I started recording. I have. Good. Let's find out. That's good. So you come back up the top. That on number 2. I'm just going to fill this up, so don't do anything yet. Okay, cog starter. Yeah, we go. Start. Go. you switch it off, mate. So having got all 4 pieces glued together, the next job, as I told you last week, the bottom half, the bottom 5 metres of the mast needs bulking up beyond that 16 centimetre square. And I'm now in the process of laminating pieces onto the 4 sides, all 4 sides, keep it even, so that I finally have a blank that's big enough to start planing to shape. And it would be so nice to put it on an enormous lathe and just turn it down, but of course that's not going to happen. It'll be me and a planer shaping it. But we're getting there now. I've got 2 sides thickened up. I've got 2 to go, and then that'll be the blank ready to go. And one more, then we're done. Yes, laminating the mast blank and getting there, but it takes all the clamps I've got, and so I can only do one side at a time. I've got another 3 sides of that to go. That's the first one, but it's coming up good. I like that. I like that. Get in there. So I've got this bit of stuff here called G10, which I've never used before, but I read an article, I think it was Practical Boat Owner or Practical Sailor or one of those, about backing plates, and one of the materials that was recommended was G10. And this is the thickest I could get, 3mm, so I'm going to glue 2 layers together. It's basically fiberglass and epoxy glued together under pressure, as I understand it. So I assume it's going to epoxy glue together okay, and make a backing plate up for this beautiful bronze cleat, which will be in the forepeak. Well, you know, the cleat will be on the deck, but the backing plate will be in the forepeak. And I want to make something that's going to look reasonable, and so I thought I'd try this G10 and see what it's like to work with, see how it works as a backing plate. We'll find out. Like many of these things, time will tell. that's a piece of cake, isn't it? Patient. So that has stuck very well and looks good. Should be shaping it up and making that backing plate. There's a nice big backing plate, and it's a pretty solid bit of kit. I'm hopeful. And there we are. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I shall give you an update on how the girls are getting on next time, I think. And clearly I should be gluing more bits onto that mast, and hopefully, no, almost certainly starting to shape it up. And yeah, that'll be good, that'll be cool. I'm very pleased with the way it's coming out. I think it's going to work well. Anyhow, see you next time. Thanks for watching. All the best, all that YouTube stuff. Bye.